Hello, hello. This is Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling with Angela Jordan Perry. Peace and blessings to all of you. It's that time of the day for an interview. Yes, we got a guest speaker today out of Virginia. So I hope you all have had a great day so far. And ready to hear some great insights and nuggets and wisdom from this author. This is a homeschool mom author. So yeah, as you come in, go ahead and let us know where you are viewing us from. That would be great. It's always great to know where the audience extends out to, okay? So come in, let us know. And then plus, you just never know who might be in your area who would love to connect with you, okay? Alrighty, there we go, there we go. I see myself, we are here. And so she should be on in just a little bit. You all, yeah, come in, introduce yourself. My day has been a full day with transcripts. You know, I'm in the state of South Carolina. Here, I give legal rights to homeschoolers to homeschool legally. So one of the services I'll provide is transcript completion. So I have right at about 100 transcripts and then report cards and all that good stuff that I do. And yeah, it made for a full day today. Okay, let me bring her on. There she is. Okay. All righty, let's see what we can do here. Bring on now. Good deal, good deal, good deal. Yay! She should be on a little bit. All right, we got some viewers on here with us today already.
Okay.
There she is. Yes. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello, my girl. How's it going?
It's coming along. I'm here.
Yes. Yes. Be encouraged. All right. Hey, Desria, how are you? We're going to get started in like 10 seconds. Are you ready, my girl?
I'm ready. I know I have to share this.
If you want to do it later, that's fine. If you can do it now, that's perfect. It's up to you.
Okay.
I know
All right, let me work it out.
Okay, so it's already shared onto Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling. So if you want to do that, that's fine, or you let me know.
It says it's been shared to my timeline. Good thing, right?
Yep, I see it's shared. Woo-hoo! This girl's making it happen. This mama, she is making it happen in a remote area. You know, I tell you all about it. She's a RV living, traveling mama, and so she is making it happen right now in the best way she can. So, all right, here we go. We're going to get started here. All right, 3, 2, 1. Girlfriend's Guide to Homeschooling. I am turned up for another interview today. Yes. So, Malkah, can you hear? Oh, man, we lost her. Okay. So she's going to pop back on. And my girl, she's sitting in a car. You know, she lives in an RV. They're a homeschooling family that travels all over in their RV. And so she had to find a good spot for her internet. And so she is trying to make it happen remotely from her car out by the library. So let's see if we can get her back on again. Hello, Delcina. Hello, hello, hello. Peace to you. All right, let's see if we can get her back on here. Bless her heart. We're gonna make this happen. Last time we had to postpone it to today. She was actually scheduled back in April, and here it is. You know, we're at the end of May, so actually a whole month away. We had to schedule her out. So we're gonna make this happen today. Yes, we are. So let's give her a minute to get back on. Woo! You all, bless you. So tell me, how are you doing? Hey, Alice, how's it going? Thanks for joining in today. I appreciate it. Good seeing you. You all hit the share button so that others can see that. The share button is right on the bottom to your, I guess it might be to your left, but yeah, go ahead and hit the share button. Let's see if we can't get her back on here. She is on here, so we're adding her now. All right, let's see. Woo! Patiently waiting. We're going to make this happen today. We're having this interview today, Malkah. Okay, there you are.
It's going to happen today.
It's going to happen today. That's what I just said. It's
It's
going to
going to
happen today.
happen
We're going to do this
today.
interview. So don't don't turn off your internet. Don't turn off anything. Leave everything on for you, okay? Ah, is she frozen again? Bless her. Okay. You're there?
I can I can hear you and see you.
Okay, beautiful. All right. Three, two, one. Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. I am turned up for today's interview. We're going to make this interview happen today. So you all say a prayer as you are viewing. Just say a quick little prayer, Lord. We pray that all goes well and that this
Yeah.
technology will work as it's supposed to,
Yeah.
because we really want to have this interview. So bless us to be able to do that. Thank you. So,
Yes.
all right. So today, let me tell you, we had this great interview today playing with Malkah. And like I said, it was supposed to have been in April, but we had to postpone it all the way out to now to May. So let me let you know really quickly who we are. We don't want to lose her and lollygag on the time. But I'm Angela Jordan Perry. I'm the host of this show, Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. This is a platform that gives voice to the African homeschooling diaspora and those of the marginalized homeschoolers. All right, so that's the gist of it. We share their successes, their triumphs, their nuggets of wisdom, their insights, everything that you want to know. I just dig it out of them and you can run with it. So for those who are homeschooling, you'll find encouragement and some creative ways of homeschooling. For those who are maybe not homeschooling yet, but thinking about it, this will give you the to say, I can do it. So I'm a homeschooling mom myself of 8 children, 18 years. 3 we've graduated, 5 we're still homeschooling, and we have a small homestead in the northwest part of South Carolina where we make our home. Married to my husband for 26 years, and my purpose-driven life is to make a positive impact on thousands of homeschoolers worldwide. And I do that firstly here in South Carolina as I serve as an Option 3 Accountability Association Director, giving people free rights to homeschool legally in this state. So that's a little bit about me, but I don't want to take much more time other than that. Now I'm going to tell you about our interviewee for this evening, okay? All right. Before we start, you all make sure you hit the share button so people can join in and see this interview. So Malkah Yisrael, also known as Verlyn, as I'm saying that right, Verlyn?
Verlyn.
Verlyn?
Verlyn.
Okay, Verlyn Tarlton, a native Washingtonian, is a mother, wife, speaker, and author. She received her love of reading and writing from her late grandfather, Ethelbert W. Haskins, a university professor in Washington, D.C. So Malkah has always been passionate about reading, writing, and teaching. 2 years ago, Malkah and her family embarked on a full-time journey around USA in their RV. This was an opportunity for Malkah to share her book with children around the country. So along with her passion for passing along her love of reading, Malkah equally enjoys passing on the love of adventure to young children and encouraging them to dream big. So Malkah, I have just told the girlfriends a little bit about you, just a little bit. So please tell us more about yourself and how you actually got started in homeschooling.
I started homeschooling when my twins are 9, and I guess I started about 4 or 5 years ago. So long story short, I have adult children, and they are like 29 or 30, something like that. They're in their 30s. And then I started all over again with these children. And so in my mind, I was one of these parents. I was like, as soon as these children are old enough to go to school, I'm going to be the first one at the bus stop. That was my motto. Like, if the bus comes at 7:30, we're going to be there at 6:30. Make sure they get on that bus and go to school, because I wanted my life to myself. And so, all my friends laughed at me. I happened to move in a large homeschool community in Virginia. And everywhere I went, I would just run into all these homeschool moms in the middle of the day, you know. And so one summer I sprained my ankle and I was kind of on the couch for a couple of weeks. And a friend of mine who was an adamant homeschooler, she brought me all of these books to read about homeschooling and a book about basically how school started in terms of socially. And I can't remember the title. But anyway, it changed my whole mind. Like, I was literally blown away as I began to really think about what it meant to homeschool. And coming from a writer background and also an educator, you know, all of a sudden it became a no-brainer. Like, I have to educate my own children. You know, I want to find their gifts. And so that summer was the summer that changed my life. And then I went on and I started gathering material. But yeah, it came from actually reading about what was going on. And also, of course, because I had been in the school system, I knew a lot of what was going on. And so I opted out.
So you haven't been in the school system. You thought, no, I don't want to be a part of the school system.
Well, you know, like I said, initially I was like, well, they're pretty young, you know, they'll be all right. Just send them in, you know. But then when I really thought about it and put everything in perspective, it totally changed my mind. And it was like, this is not even an option, you know, me homeschooling, especially my boys, my sons. Yeah.
Gotcha. So this is my favorite question for those who have an education background. Do you feel like your education background helped you or hindered you in homeschooling your own children?
That's a good question. I think I'm sure it helped. Mine is patience. You know, mine is being patient with your own children because, you know, you think, hey, you should be getting this quicker, you know, and you have these expectations, you know, especially kind of like, you're my child, so you should be, you know, kicking this out. And so that was kind of like my thing I had to really work on, is seeing who was who, where they were, and working with them where they were. But yeah, definitely learning how to read curriculum. A lot of curriculum I write myself, you know, because I think it's a lot that children don't learn. Well, first of all, I'm not a public school basher. Let me just say that disclaimer. But in terms of money and finances and everyday economics, you know, I pretty much write those things myself. And entrepreneurship.
You mean you write your own curriculum for those subjects yourself? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, and I mean, not like something I would sell right now, you know, but I know how to go and get books and get materials, you know, and gather it. Like, I want them to know how to balance a checkbook. Like I said, I'm really heavy into being an entrepreneur. And so, yeah, I write those things. I invent games that we play, you know, things like that. And so that makes it really, really fun, you know, to be able to be creative. And so, yeah, it's like homeschool, no brainer.
Gotcha. So how was your first year when you got started, Malkah?
The first year, you know, I was kind of like finding that groove, you know. Like I said, I had all these expectations that everybody's supposed to learn it as soon as it comes out of my mouth, if not before. And I really tried to set up my home like the school, you know. So I had this schedule. We should do this at 9 o'clock, be done at 9:30, transition to this. And so the first year was really a learning process where I had to like step back a little bit and just kind of calm myself and realize that homeschool is just that. It's a home education. It's not to bring the public school system and their setup and their schedule into my home and put myself under a lot of stress, you know, trying to squeeze in 7 subjects in a day and things like that. And so it was mainly a learning process. And it was probably my most challenging school year, but I learned a lot.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, and that's anything that's new, right? It's going to be a learning curve to it, and you just got to give yourself some grace and patience and reflect, step back, look at it, and go again. Yeah.
Exactly. Flexibility is key.
Flexibility is key. Okay. Gotcha. So with that in mind, what is your daily habits? How flexible are you now, you know, 5 years into this? How flexible? What does that look like in your homeschooling now?
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, there are times I may take that flexibility thing to a whole nother level. You know, there are times when we do what I call night school. Like we're in the process. Well, first of all, let me go back a little bit. You mentioned that we've been on the road like literally for 2 years. So we have lived in our RV, which of course has made for total flexibility. Like if I were to name my homeschool, it would be like the flexible homeschool, you know, because there were times, um, you know, most of our field trips and things like that where we wanted to go would happen during the daytime. And so to me, that's a part of schooling, you know, and that's a part of academics. And so it wasn't always where we were sitting at the table, you know, working in a workbook. You know, there were times like we visited Medgar Evers' home in Mississippi, I believe. And so, you know, like the lady that was there, the museum person that was in the house, she sat down and taught them, you know. And so being on the road, we don't have anything like what would probably even look like a normal homeschool day, because we were not in the RV a lot. We were out, you know, we went to Tuskegee University. We went to see the Tuskegee Airmen Airfield. So there were a lot of times when we were being educated, but we were not inside of the home. And then we would come in, you know, later on, and maybe that night we would read a book or something. But there have been plenty of times when it was things to do during the day, and we would do night school. You know, everybody, okay, Dad's gonna teach math, you know, that's his strength. And so we have been living totally flexible in the RV. You just can't get around.
Yeah. So listen, you got to tell the girlfriends why. I mean, I mentioned it just a little bit in the bio. Tell us more detail about why you actually decided to, you know, do this RV living. I know it was connected to your book and being an author and that type of thing. Yeah. Tell us how that really like sparked to get you doing that.
All right. So, like you said, it was connected to my Swift Walker series. One of the primary reasons initially when we were homeschooling, we wanted to take the children to see all 50 states before they graduated high school. So that was the initial, you know, reasoning, just something to do, you know, something different, something fun. Learning outside of the classroom is what we called it. And then we narrowed our focus down like a couple of years later, and we were like, you know, we are so done with this slave narrative. And I'm not knocking our history, you know, but that's not the beginning of our history, you know. But in America, for whatever reason, you know, Black history means slavery, a couple of other notable people that everybody talks about, and then boom, we're here. And so, you know, we wanted to go literally and bring our children into a classroom where they could learn that there's a lot of Black history out there of things that we have done to contribute positively in America, you know, and it has nothing to do with slavery. There are inventors, there are scientists, there are teachers, there are people that left slavery and ran away and went on and became educated and they became lawyers. And we knew that the only way that they would learn that is if we literally took responsibility as parents and took them places to see and to learn about these people. And so that became pretty much our primary focus. We wanted them to see that, no, we have done other things besides run away from slavery, get caught in slavery, and be slaves or enslaved, because we're not slaves, we were enslaved.
Very good. Well said. That's good. That's cool. So has it been a fun experience other than, you know, the travel? Has it been, you know, this, what you imagined and hoped it would be as you all traveled in this RV and schooling world, you know, across the country?
Yeah, it's been really great. All the historical sites, like I said, we've seen, and like, I think we've had more fun than the children, you know, seeing these places. And to actually like stand at the bus stop where Rosa Parks was, you know, they had the big plaque there explaining, you know, how the date and the time and all of that, and to actually stand in that spot and to go to that museum and things like that, it is beyond what we could imagine. And we have pictures of that. So like if our children ever grow up, be like, my mom didn't spend time with me and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to pull out all those pictures and all those videos and show them, yes, we invested a lifetime into you. So you can kill that noise. But anyway, it has been really great because we have traveled around the country. I have made friends. The children have made friends all over. We've seen so many beautiful sights, just breathtaking sights, and the things that they have learned in terms of life skills, like how to fish that we can eat, you know what I'm saying? And how we've managed to grow different types of things while we have been in the RV. And my children have, let me see, how they have learned or practiced how to interact with people that are not in their age group. Like, you know, it's not a bunch of, okay, we have to be with the third grade. They have talked to people from Europe. They've talked to people from Argentina. They've made friends with children from different countries that speak different languages. They know how to hold a conversation with 60 and 70-year-old people, you know, not just, okay, fifth graders. And so I'm hoping that it's building their confidence, because they can interact with, or they have interacted with people from all over, not the country, but all over the world, and from all ages, you know, from smaller. My daughter has been a friend with a 5-year-old, you know, and been able to be loving and kind and patient and nurturing, you know, as well as she's been able to sit at a table or sit in a park with a 70-plus-year-old lady and have like a real conversation and learn about the culture of, you know, what they did when they were 6, 7, 8, 9. And so those experiences, they just cannot happen sitting inside, you know, not even of my house, you know. They only happen when you get out there and you see all these different types of people and you see all these different places. And my children have learned how to clean bathrooms. They've learned how to pick up leaves, because while we travel, we volunteer at different state parks in exchange for our, you know, electricity and water. And so for that, we had to, you know, serve. And so they've learned how to serve. They've learned humility, you know, by serving others. And they understand what it means to be a family unit. And everybody has to pull this thing together and make it work and sacrifice. You know, we moved from our house, or our home is a little over 3,900 square feet. Well, actually, it's closer to 4,000 square feet. And we moved into an RV that is 300, read my lips, 300 square feet. All right. And so that in itself has been a learning experience.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. How much longer are you all on the road? Is this like indefinite until they're done, schooling and adult?
Well, right now we're actually in the process of selling our home, because we have had so much fun and we realize the world is so much bigger, you know, than where we, you know, have stayed in our home. And so we're literally, like, our house will be on the market next week. And then we are looking to move and begin to be self-sufficient. Like, you know, we want to grow our own food and all of that. We want to show our children how to survive and not to depend on other people to feed them and clothe them. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that's another whole homeschool experience in and of itself.
Yeah. That is absolutely amazing. That's absolutely amazing, Malkah. So tell me this. This is my favorite question as we transition to this part of the show. Tell us your worst day of homeschooling. That is so bad you have often, thought about quitting. I'm done. I'm done with this. And you almost quit, but you didn't. And this is why you're this amazing homeschooling mom, living in an RV, showing your kids the whole country and people all over the world. Take us to that day that almost made you quit.
Okay, I'd love to say I almost quit, but I did quit. Mine is not one of the nice, perfect stories where we started and everything was heavenly and we fell right into place and it's been, great since. I did stop. But I'm hoping my daughter doesn't see this, the youngest one. Like, okay. She was just giving me grief, man. I mean, she's one of these personalities that she's like, she loves to be around lots of people all the time and really, really talk a lot. And I'm kind of like the opposite, believe it or not. I'm an only child, so I didn't have to have people. And so she was just like fighting me tooth and nail all the time, driving me nuts. And she just did not want to homeschool. She was like, I want to go to real school. And she would point to the school every time we drove by. And she said, I wanted to ride on the school bus. and it was not pretty. And so I got to the point, I was like, you know what? I think we both want you to go to public school. I wasn't that nice parent that said, well, honey, we worked this out. I was like, you know what? I want you to go too. And my theory was with my husband, I was like, if one goes, they all go. I'm not doing this running around, picking up one, too old for that drama. And so this was in December. We had like a really rough day, the tears and the stuff. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go up to the school right now. You want to go to the school? Let's do it, And so I did. I went up to the school. It was like a week before their winter vacation or whatever. I went to my homeschool liaison. I was like, what do I need to do to put them in public school? She told me what to do. I went up there. I got the paperwork. I went to my pediatrician. I got the shot records. I did everything. The day before school closed, I had my stuff up here. I said, I want them up here the first day of school, January 4th, right? When you come back. And by golly, that day, when that first day came back from winter vacation, they were all enrolled. And so, yeah, I did stop because I had enough, and I'm not one, I don't fake the funk. It's like, if it's not working, it's not working. And so it wasn't working. And I put them in school. And I guess within about a month, it was like, I want to come home. The teacher's mean and the children. I'm like, you know what? Life doesn't work like that, where you can just kind of bounce back and forth. Once you make a decision, let this be a lesson. You have to stick with it, And so we stuck it out. I said, you're going to have to finish this school year, And then when the next school year comes around and we homeschool again, I'll have a little more respect, and a little more cooperation, and hopefully there'll be some more appreciation, because sometimes you don't know what you have until you lose it and you get something else. And so that was my experience. I made them stick it out, and finish out, and we made it. We made it through. It was nothing. I don't have anything negative to say, about public school or anything like that, but we all learned a lesson. And so when I brought them home, and, actually one of my sons was like, I didn't ask to go to public school, but it was like, hey, you all have to do it, and that's another way we learn about a family unit. What one person does affects us all, It's not all about, it's just me. No, your behavior affects us all. Anyway, so we finished out that school year. We had some long talks, and we regrouped, and everybody came back home. And so it's been better. But yeah, I'm not one that, I'm too old for the fight. It's like, okay, you want to go, have at it. But, I kind of knew what would happen. But I made them stick it out, because you have to sometimes live with your decisions. You can't flip-flop back and forth and think somebody's going to come rescue you. No.
Yep. I hear you very clear. That's good, girl. That's good. What's
yeah, so I did quit.
Huh?
I said, yeah, so I did quit.
But tell us, conversely to that story, tell us, your day, your most memorable day, a day that, brings up emotions, maybe almost bring you to tears, just thinking about that. This is right here. This is why I do this is why we homeschool right here. Take us to that moment in your homeschooling journey that just maybe stirred you to that degree, Malkah.
I don't know if it's one specific, that's a great question. If there's one specific moment, but I'm kind of like not a real deeply emotional kind of person, but what happens is it's the little things that get to me. So like when I hear my children's conversation, those are the things that make me say, wow, they're getting it. Like one time my daughter was talking to one of my sons, and I mean, she's like 9 or 10, or was 9 or 10. And she was telling him something. And she said, I'm not telling you this to make you feel good. I'm telling this to make you better. And I was like, oh, okay, wow. She's, they're using my words on each other. And I hear them all the time having these conversations that are in depth, that make me realize that all these talks and all these sitting at the fire, chatting and imparting into them, like they're learning, because I'm listening to them and they don't know I'm listening, but they're giving back the things that I've been giving to them, and they will even give it back to me and my husband, and so those are the things that mean a lot to me, when I actually hear them giving me back words or giving each other back words. And it's letting me know they are actually listening, and they're actually taking it in, and they're using these same lessons. And then my daughter, she's like a mini me. You know, she's getting a whiteboard and she's teaching them reading, and she's giving them quizzes and tests and things like that. And so I can see how us sewing into them every day little things that they're taking root. And
Yeah.
those things mean a lot to me.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'm the same way. I'm not really deeply emotional, although I was almost in tears on Monday in my interview. But it's the small things that really are huge, and things like that where you see, wow, 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 they're getting it. That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge. So, girlfriends, listen, this is Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling, and we have this beautiful Virginian by way of Washington here on Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. This is Malkah Yisrael, homeschool mom of six. She 6 children. She has 3 that she's still homeschooling. Malkah, tell me the ages of 5 children. I'm sorry, I'm giving you one more. First, I was only giving you 3. Now I'm giving you
Right.
So, tell us the ages of them.
Okay, my twin boys are 9, my daughter is 10, and then my other son is like maybe 28, and then my other daughter, who's on Facebook, I hope she doesn't get me, is like is in her 30s. I'll just say that.
Okay, she's in her 30s. All right, so she has her 5 children, you all. She started all over, and she has this, set of twin 9-year-olds and a 10-year-old, and they are a family who. I'm sorry, I didn't say that right?
No, I just said, when you said started all over, I said,
Like, what in the world? Honey, I'm with you. I started all over too, So, this family lives in their RV, and they travel all over the world, and she's an author. If you've not seen her books or gotten her books, they're adorable. My kids loved it, and they had a big smile after they read it. This is so good. And then they read it to each other, then they read it again. I think in one sitting, they read it like 4 times. It was really
wow.
Yes, excellent. Swift Walker is the name of the book. She's the author. You will find her on there as Verlyn Tarlton on her as author. But here we're Malkah Yisrael. So anyway, you all, I want you to hit the share button, because sharing is caring. Malkah, we're going to dig in a little bit deeper with Malkah, some specific questions just to pick her brain. You want to make sure other friends who are considering homeschooling will get this information, or if they're homeschooling, they can get this encouragement from her. So, Malkah, at this point of the show, we transition, and I ask you, questions that will just pick your brain, just quick answers that you can share with us. Okay.
Okay.
So, tell us now you told me you went through this hard time, challenging time with, and everyone went off on to public school and all of that. But tell us, what is your mantra? What is your motto that helps you through this homeschooling journey?
That's a great question. What I hope to accomplish is, when my children, these last 3, are finished, by the time they exit high school, they will already be running a full-fledged business of their own. Mine is about education, because I want them to be liberated, self-sufficient, and I want them, we have to see what they want, but I'm always encouraging them to work for themselves. You cannot build generational wealth working for someone else. And so that is my goal. That is what keeps me focused, because I do not want them to graduate from high school with a resume, and this is just my thing, going out looking for a job. I want them to create jobs for others.
Yes. I'm with you. I have the same mantra. We're doing the same thing. Wealth building within our own families. And I don't care. Think of something. You want to sell origami? I don't care. Make the book, right? Do whatever. I have one who loves origami. I'm like, you need to figure out how to make some money from that and make that into a business. So I'm right along with you. All right. So, what do you plan to homeschool them all the way through to college? Is that your goal, or how does that work for you all?
All the way through high school. And like I said, when they have their businesses established, it will be up to them if they want to go to college. My thing is this: college is not the only way to success. As a matter of fact, most of the wealthy people I know, they did it through starting a business. They didn't go by investing $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 into that which I'm not knocking if that's your thing. But, you know, my thing is, if there's another way to do it and a quicker way, and you can build generational wealth, go with it. And
Absolutely.
so that's my thing.
Yes. Tell us something that's unique to your homeschool, your family homeschool that, you know, you're proud of. This is what you all created that's unique.
Like I said, going to see all these places in person, you know, going to see these historic monuments and learn about these historic Black people that did amazing things right here in America. That is the thing that I am most thankful for, that we have had the blessing of being able to take them to these places so that they can actually see them, read, and learn from other people.
Yes, very unique. Not too many doing that, but we would probably all love to do that for real. So, what is your favorite curriculum or book or CD that you have right now in your library that you can suggest to the girlfriends who are watching?
Okay, so for math, they have a program called Teaching Textbooks. It is phenomenal for someone like me because it's basically, well, it comes on a CD-ROM, so I don't know how many people have that type of computer, but you have a CD-ROM and you put it in there. All the lessons are laid out. The teacher's grade book is there. It grades everything. It checks it. It basically uses little animals or animation to teach a concept, and then you can go back and you can watch it over and over. So like if your child does not understand it, they can watch it again, and then as they begin to work the problems, you can see that you got it wrong or right or whatever, and you can go back and it'll actually tell you how you come up with the correct answer. But I like it because it's hands-on. The child learns to be independent. And then, you know, of course, I have to answer questions, things like that. But the grade book is already done. The tests and quizzes are done. So all I have to do, I log in under, you know, teacher, whatever. They have their own login, and then they have a workbook that they can work in, and they can also do it on the computer. But yes, teaching textbooks for math is the bomb.
It's very good. Someone says teaching textbook is offering an online version now too. I think it's subscription based.
Oh, okay. Oh,
that's cool.
New to me.
Yeah. So
I love it.
What is your best piece of advice that you've received since you've been homeschooling, Malkah?
Let's see. My best piece of advice. I would say relax and go with the flow. Just relax and go with the flow. You know, our children learn naturally. Even if we didn't actually do stuff, they learn because it's just in them. And so if you just kind of go with the flow and relax, instead of trying, like I said, to bring school into your home and be rigid and do this at this time and this has to be, relax and go with the flow, because they are learning. Whether or not you believe it, they are learning, they are listening, they are gathering information, they're learning from each other. Just relax and go with the flow.
Absolutely. Yes. All right, well, we're on our last question.
Well, we're almost there. Yes.
We made it. We're on the $1 million question. Are you ready, Malkah?
And I want my $1 million.
Hey, listen. So if you had to start all over again, back to the first day of homeschooling, but you have your current wisdom, knowledge, skills, insights, wisdom, what would be the first thing you'd be sure to change this time around, or be sure to implement this first day of homeschooling anew?
That's a good question. Something I would change. Definitely, like I said, I would not try to make my home education like the public school system. You know, I was programmed to do things a certain way. I would not do that. I am all about a schedule, but I would not try to squeeze so many subjects. And this is what I tried to do. I tried to do math, history, reading, 5 or 6 subjects in one day. And for me personally, I would not do that again. Like I wrote it out and everything in my lesson plan. We had to do this, this, this. I would not do that anymore. I would only I would implement what I did later on, which is to teach a couple of subjects, maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the other two Tuesday and Thursday or something like that. So that's what I would do. I would not try to cram so many subjects into one day. It just creates for a really stressful day, especially when you're dealing with more than one child. That's the one thing I would change. Say the other question again.
Yeah, what would you change or implement this time around if you had a chance to start all over again? If you knew what
Okay.
you knew.
In terms of implementing, definitely more outside of the classroom learning experiences. I think it's like the best. When your child can be free and, be outside of the walls, learning, picking up things, instead of reading about a mountain, going to look at or climb up a mountain, those types of things, instead of looking at a science book about a butterfly, that's fine, but then go out and try to find real butterflies. Bring the education to life. That's what I've implemented. Bringing education to life. I love books, but it's nothing like actually seeing, touching, and feeling the thing that you're learning about.
Yes, yes. Bring education to life. All right.
Oh, and one more thing. Can I
Yes,
say one more thing?
yes.
Ask for help. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask, because we do not know it all. And there are so many resources out there and so many people smarter than myself that I was able to ask questions, say, hey, I'm struggling with this. How can I deal with this? Don't be afraid to ask, thinking that, if you won't look smart, if you don't know how to do this. Ask questions, reach out for help.
Yes, yes, that's huge. And I think I've said this terminology every single interview since that. Find a sister circle. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Someone you can glean from and encourage. And if you're about to step off the ledge and like I'm putting them butts in the public school, they're talking off the ledge. Get a sister circle to
Yeah.
help help you out. So that is so true. So all right, Malkah, yes,
We
did.
made it. Woohoo!
You all, this is huge because the last time it was crazy. So this is huge that we made it to the end. So Malkah, thank you for persevering. Thank you for coming back and let's doing this thing. So we got it done.
Thank you. Thank you for not giving up on me.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. So listen, maybe that was it, but any other last words of advice you want to share with the girlfriends? How can they get in contact with you if they would like to continue the discussion? How can they get your book? And let us know any other projects you're involved in you want us to know about.
Okay, one last piece of advice. Just enjoy the process. Relax and enjoy your children while you can, because everything that we sow into them now, it will grow in the future. And so if you're all stressed all the time and, having conniptions, then, they're going to be vibing off of that and they'll be stressed and all of that. But if you can just relax, laugh at yourself, laugh with them, laugh at them, and just enjoy it. We want to be perfect and we want to be this and be that. And my thing is just be loved. Be loved. Be loved. Our children need to know that they are loved and that we appreciate them, for who they are. And so that's huge for me, that they know that they are loved, and grow from that. You can contact me, of course, on Facebook. My email, Malkah Yisrael, MalkahYisrael @gmail.com. I'm on Instagram. I think it's at Malkah Yisrael. And all of my books, A Song in Captivity, and all the Swift Walker books are right there on Amazon. You can just type in, Swift Walker books, and they'll come up.
Good deal, girlfriends. You are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. And for this past hour, you've been hanging out with Malkah Yisrael.
Yay, we made it.
Made it, girl. You all don't even understand, but we have made it to the end of this interview. And now you all keep up the momentum and continue to connect with positive homeschool sister circles. Get yourself a sister circle. These people who you know and can trust their words, their encouragement, and what you wanting to do as far as homeschooling your children. Let them be, find those positive influences in which you can draw from, and then you be that positive influence in which others can draw from. It's a give and take. So keep up that momentum. Malkah, listen, Girlfriends has got the homeschooling. So, so, so grateful to you and appreciate you for persevering. I'm so happy we did it.
Yeah.
And,
and I'm in my car now.
And she's in her car. So we made this happen. Listen, so thankful to you and appreciate you for sharing of your time, your wisdom, and your knowledge and insights with thousands of homeschoolers, around the world. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, Miss.
One love.
Yes, one love. Listen, girlfriends, remember, to teach a child is to touch a life. And as we homeschool, we not only touch a life, we shape the future through our efforts of homeschooling. So keep making a positive impact day after day and year after year. And just like Malkah said, she said, just be love, be love. And what does that look like? Do it, figure it out, slow it down, enjoy the process, and love on our babies, love on them, love them. And I could do that more myself, pouring more love on them. I don't think any kid we can't even overdo that love. So keep doing that. You all continue to connect other homeschoolers or possible homeschoolers of the African homeschooler diaspora. Connect them to Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. And then with educating our own, that's coming up. You all get ready. You're going to see more information about educating our own. And I was so excited, Malkah. You mentioned that at the very top of the interview. Did you hear that? I wrote it. She said, we need to be educating our children. That's educating our own right there. And that's the sentiments. Educating our own. So you all look for that more information coming there. So other than that, this again is Angela Jordan Perry on Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. Go follow us. Find us right there on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube, on Instagram, on Tumblr. Get connected with the podcast on Girlfriends Chat. We'll have Malkah up there soon so you can hear a small little nugget a little bit deeper. But other than that, you all have a good one. Continue to homeschool and with strength, confidence, and flexibility. All right. Until next time, you all have a great one. Thanks, Malkah. I'll be in touch with you.
Thank you.
All right. Peace, everybody.